Before I probably begin, I want to explain this video might feel kinda disorganized, as I'm legit just reading off of small notes I took while playing, and I honestly don't know how to fit it all into one proper script without me over-explaining everything that's going on. With that being said, I hope you at least have seen or played Banban 8 in full, otherwise none of what I'm about to say will make any sense. Alright, starting off, this Half-Life 2 reference is neat, Dako's cameo is funny, and overall this game has a strong introduction into the corrupt nature of the prison, as seen here with this Javanium guard hitting a prisoner. These small animations given to everyone are great, whether it be during cutscenes or even when you just interact or talk with some of them. It makes these characters feel a lot more alive than ever before, and not just being still models that walk occasionally. That also ties into the extra dialogue you can trigger if you haven't done a certain task, or you could just interact with them for some extra bits of story, which I really like. I enjoy the detail of everyone from Banban 7's ending being found in the prison blocks after what happened. I wonder if Syringeon is trying to cover everything up by relocating or silencing anyone who might know about this new blue Banban. Another detail I like is Jumbo Josh's model now has purple scars that cross his entire body to show what the scepter did after he tried eating it. While the escape scene is pretty epic, I can't help but realize that if there were landmines from the way this getaway driver came, why didn't they explode when he was coming to save us and instead only did when we were escaping? I guess it doesn't matter too much since there's probably some type of excuse to make there. We get a pretty neat looking title card after, which is actually a first in any of these games. And I like to think that it makes it feel a bit more polished and cinematic in a way. The concept failing to open the closet door Flumbo's locked in is annoying and feels like a bit of needless filler. But maybe the game is trying to imply that we're weak or something. Then again, it did actually say that we are weak through this scene, but you know, whatever. In the closet though, I really like the detail of Flumbo having drawn everything related to Banban 0. It kind of gives some insight into his character during that time, considering he didn't talk then. The approach to making Flumbo a stunted child who thinks we're still playing some horribly screwed up version of hide and seek makes his character much more intriguing than if he were to be totally confused or panicked. Also, may I just mention how much I adore the detail of Banban always hesitating or contemplating if he should open the closet back up. It shows how much he feared getting replaced by Flumbo during events of Banban 0 and possibly still does. Also, it'll come up later, but figured I'd bring it up here since we see him on the train's monitor. I don't like how Syringeon feels like he got flanderized in this game. He just feels like a super generic villain now. Losing his crazed drill sergeant-like attributes, combined with obsession over making thousands upon thousands of cases in exchange for something a lot more plain. Anyways, I like the implication that the area where we take said train with Flumbo and Banban might have been the same one we saw in the 7th game before encountering Syringeon for the first time. Meaning there could have been an alternate event where we found Flumbo first instead. Also, Flumbo is such a sweetie when he does his cute little wave goodbye. I want to give him a hug so badly. While I think that the new remote we've been given is cool, I think it could have been executed better by making more engaging puzzles for it, versus the same old do thing X number of times to open a door. I'm not so sure what these engaging puzzles could look like, but I'm sure something could be made. I think this makeshift doctor guy is actually a homage to the medic from TF2, mainly due to his voice.
Who are you? Are you here for a checkup or something? Can't you see? I'm busy.
The healing is not as rewarding as the hurting.
And the banging of his head against the wall reminds me of that one specific lost one from Bendy Chapter 4. The first time I played the minigame involving him, it was kind of annoying because of the still poorly placed MRI machine getting in the way sometimes for certain patterns. But I think because I played through the section a couple more times and know what to expect, it's gotten easier over time. But the puzzle itself is fine. It's kind of like the one from Banban 7, but with less steps to take and minus the drone, of course. Also, wish I had a little bit more to it than just walking across some buttons. In fact, this and some other stuff coming up kind of feel like filler versus making actually engaging and interesting puzzles like last time. Hell, even Banban 0 had some more interesting things to it, despite taking less time to make than this entry. I like the addition of some bonus lore found through these case modules, which allow for some further elaboration on the characters' roles and such in this facility. The Clorenzo encounter is actually pretty fun to do. It's not the typical run down the hallway and escape, it's more like loop around the thing and defeat it for real. It's a nice change of pace for this series. It's nice to see these paintings of the hallway are made by the community that were put into this area. It really feels like the Euphoric brothers are honoring us in a way, but it's also interesting to know these were made by Brashtista and Universe, as some of them appear to have major lore implications about her being involved with the kingdom at some point. I don't have much to say for the scene between these three after saving Flumbo, since nothing that interesting goes on here, so I'ma just move on. The gameplay during the Javanian village found inside Zolphius is honestly kind of boring, seeing as this part is definitely just more filler, because I literally just summarize this part as pressing E 20 times to complete your objective. Like for example, having to slowly hand the farmer these 10 pieces of what I think are brains separately from each other and not all at once is ridiculous. Moving on, after completing our objectives, we decided to investigate the other village to look for clues. I'm kinda just nitpicking, but why didn't we start by investigating the other village first, then getting people's votes by using the evidence we gathered? Might have been a more engaging experience than what we got. It also feels like what we did before was for nothing if they all just said no anyway. In other words, we could have actually had a shot at freeing Flumbo a little earlier. Up next is the Varza boss fight, and I think it's pretty well made, if a little hard to understand at first. Nothing much more to say other than it utilizes the shock mechanic well enough. I can't really give advice on how to make it any more interesting either, since I think it does its job well. I also find the detail of Flumbo's cell having a sign above with the words poo-poo head kinda funny. Also, when the Javanian elder had said,
"Both of you, come with me. There's something I want to show you."
I swear that was a nod to when Joey Drew said that during the events of the original Bendy.
There's something I need to show you.
The detail of Flumbo looking at his hands during the Elder's explanation of who Flumbo truly is a nice touch. As for this game's dream sequence, I have no comment on it, as I'm convinced it's just the brothers dicking around at this point. I mean, take a look at this and tell me there's some deeper meaning here. The counting of notes in the musical room is fine, just kind of boring, but a nice break from the chaos, I guess. But honestly, why not have this be an auditory-based puzzle? Seems like a bit of missed potential considering the music theme, though. But this room allows us to interact with Flumbo and see what he's got going on inside of that head of his. So I guess that makes up for it, I suppose. Something I enjoy a bit more is the Banban picnic minigame. It's a nice yet laid-back challenge that kind of relies on pattern recognition of the character designs. I've been making drawings of these guys for like as long as the games have existed, so this is pretty easy to accomplish. I wish we didn't have to do it twice though, as it feels like more like filler padding to match the length of the other games. But once that's over with, there's a swinging light that makes Miss Mimicker look really eerie, which I obviously like. Plus, the fact she tries to lure us in with what I can only assume to be her kid's voice cements this feeling that this character is more calculated and intelligent to some of the other ones we've encountered. But that is to say, I feel Miss Mimicker is one of the more boring characters, as she marks all the boxes of being a generic mascot horror monster. From the way she's designed, the fact she can mimic other voices, and to how we kill her afterwards. I mean, it literally matches the death of every female character belonging to this genre. Then Varza gives some weird implications that the reclamation team was meant to be like normal mascots or something, but got rejected. Though I wouldn't hold my breath for the brothers to go super in depth on this in a meaningful way. I like the cute tiny little lobsters we find after. I can only assume them to be Clorenzo's children or something, but low-key, they can be a bit annoying when they fall into the memory puzzle room by getting in the way. Actually, now that I think about it, I feel like they're placed here specifically to screw you up a bit and make the puzzle harder than it really needs to be. Also, it's annoying as hell to do this 4 separate times. Like, waiter, more filler, and Garten Banban, please. The needless buttons you have to find around here to unlock the door do not help with the feeling of padding this game has either. Anyways, I feel the ending with Banban and Syringeon could have been more impactful if the brothers just explored their relationship between them more, rather than just kind of giving small implications here and there, along with a surface level look at it in Zero. Otherwise, it could have been great. That's to say, I enjoy the fight with Flumbo and Banban way more though, because it actually feels earned considering what they've both been through during Zero, and the fact Banban betrayed Flumbo. Also, I just realized how nonsensical it is for Syringeon to kill Bambolina. Like, did he do that just to screw with Flumbo? If so, there's more proof he's just turned into a supervillain and lost all his other characteristics I actually kind of liked him for. Like, what does Syringeon exactly get out of killing her? If there is anything, it might just benefit him indirectly at best. Doesn't matter now, I guess, since he's sort of dead. Again, something I yet again enjoy a lot more is Brashis's vague and ominous introduction. Makes me want to know more about a character. But then again, there's so many characters in this series that it's hard to get any proper character development in the first place. The bonus room you can find here is pretty interesting, as we have this pyrocynical, found in the nastiest parts of DeviantArt have-an-ass character called Uni Balloony. I would not have this thing be anywhere near a child, let alone a whole kindergarten. Anyways, this TV finally gives some more insight as to whoever the hell this character is from Banban 5. Do you remember Banban 5? I bet you don't. It's been like about to be 3 years since we've gotten any news about it. Apparently people got in the files though and found out this character is called the Stalker. Just by going off of that, I can only assume this thing has been the one to make all these weird and creepy notes that have helped us along our journey since Banban 1 or something like that. Maybe then Banban 5 is going to be us playing as him and setting things into motion? I really don't know, but hopefully the brothers will stay true to their promise of all will be uncovered. So after giving bits and pieces of my thoughts, what are they overall? Well, I'm unsure if it's the lackluster gameplay, mixed in with the fact that the old Banban charm has kind of gone away or what, but I think that for once I'm disappointed with this entry, and there could honestly be a million different reasons why, but I'm not going to get too into them. However, one thing I do want to say is, I feel like the Euphoric brothers are running out of steam to come up with new and exciting ideas, which I hope doesn't affect Banban 9 too much in terms of how much I'm able to enjoy it, so I think I might just be cautiously optimistic. On that note, I think I've ranted long enough. Let me know what y'all think of the style of the video down in the comments, because I'll be sure to read all of them. Goodbye for now.